obligation and made praying in the night an optional act of worship. He who performs any righteous voluntary act will be rewarded like the one who does an obligatory act at any other time other than during Ramadan. So if we do any kind of extra act, we get rewarded as though it was an obligatory act at any other time besides Ramadan. So that could be salah, zakat, sadaqah, any voluntary thing. And he who performs an obligatory act of worship within Ramadan, it will be rewarded like he who performs 70 acts of worship at any time outside of this month. SubhanAllah. So just mathematically, 70 times if you make a salah, 70 times normal, and if you do it in the masjid, you know it's 27 times the 70 times. SubhanAllah, Allah is Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. He's so merciful. He gives us so much opportunity to earn so many good deeds. It is the month of perseverance, and perseverance is rewarded with Jannah. It is the month of compassion, in which the sustenance, the risk of a believer increases. SubhanAllah. We fast, but our sustenance increases. He who feeds a fasting person, this is the key here. He who feeds a fasting person within this month has his sins forgiven, and he will be protected and released from the hellfire. SubhanAllah. He also gets the reward of that person's fasting, without decreasing the reward of that fasting person. So this is a voluntary act of feeding the person. You heard the rewards. On top of it, you get rewarded as though it's an obligatory act. SubhanAllah. It's compounding the blessings. SubhanAllah. Then the companions, radiallahu anhum, they said, "O Messenger of Allah, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, not all of us can find extra food needed to feed another fasting person." They hear and they act. They hear and they act. So they heard that by feeding a fasting person, there's extra reward, so they wanted to do it, but they were worried. We don't have the ability. So the Prophet ﷺ said, Allah will give you the reward of feeding a fasting person, even if you were to give him just a sip of milk, a date, or a sip of water. Anything. He who feeds a fasting person until he is full, Allah will make him drink out of my river, a sip of which will never allow him to be thirsty until he enters Jannah. The river of the Prophet ﷺ. In another narration, there will be goblets or big cups, as many as the stars in the sky, along the river for us to drink from. And the Prophet ﷺ will be offering these drinks from his river to the believers. Imagine you're standing there, getting the water from the special river of the Prophet ﷺ, and drinking with Abu Bakr next to you, and Musa alayhi salam next to you. Feed the fasting one. Then he continued, this is the month, the beginning of which is mercy, rahmah, the middle is forgiveness, and the last part is release from the hellfire. And this hadith is for Bay'ah. Brothers and sisters, let's show that we know and we believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Ar-Razzaq. Give this month of Ramadan as much as you can, the month that's coming up. Give your sadaqah. And in particular, before you leave today, go and sponsor the